Wow, it's beginning to feel like the ARMS team is watching my videos and putting out big patches just to prove me wrong. ARMS version 5 was just announced last night, and it's gonna be live sooner than you might think. First off, I'd just like to apologize to anyone who was looking forward to that ARMS Coliseum interview today. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, I'm not going to be able to get that video out today, but it will for sure be coming to you next week. Instead, I'm just going to give you some quick thoughts on what might be the most exciting ARMS update yet. In the cryptic fashion of most of their update announcements, Nintendo released a 30-second video with absolutely no commentary or really any explanation of what's going on. The only thing that we know for sure is what this new female character looks like. She's an evil scientist type of character with hair being aptly compared to Springman's. I apologize for anyone who doesn't like Overwatch, but I will be making a few comparisons to that game here, and the first thing that I noticed when watching this video was that this new ARMS character looks very similar to the new Overwatch character Moira, with the whole mad scientist theme. I'm not sure if the developers had this parallel in mind, but it actually does seem very fitting when you consider the lore that this new ARMS character might have. Since the beginning of ARMS, we've known that there's some sort of evil organization building robots to mess with the official ARMS organization. Prior to last night, there was really no known information about this group besides the assumption that both Headlock and Springtron were created by them. Besides the overall insidious tone of this announcement video, there's a couple reasons to believe that this new character could be the first human member, or maybe even the leader of this evil organization. First of all, we only see one pair of default arms on her, and from a couple of blurry screenshots I was able to take from the Twitter video, it looks like these are going to be Headlock themed arms. There's also quite a bit of that red and black magic that we see in Headlock's rush attack or Springman's EMP ability. We see it first in what looks like a clip of a grab, which probably means the character will have a considerable amount of grab damage. Then, in the only clip where we see a clear face of that Headlock arm, which is pretty cool, we see a ball of magic being shot out of it, similar to the rush attack used by the original Headlock, meaning this new character might share the same rush attack as Headlock. Judging by all of the similar dark magic effects being used here, I think it's safe to say that this new fighter has something to do with the Headlock and Springtron attacks in Grand Prix. One of the biggest things that stood out to me in this video was the new symbol that you see everywhere. We see a skull with a lightning bolt through it on the new character's boots, her chest piece, and even all around her new playable stage. This could be just the new character's designated emblem, in fact it probably is, but I really hope that it's also the symbol for a bigger organization or cause than just this one character. At this point, it's unsure whether this new character alone is responsible for all this evil doing, but I hope that she's part of a group of villains rather than just the single cause. This could be the start of something like the Talon group in Overwatch that Moira is from, where we know that certain characters are involved with certain groups in the lore, but it doesn't really affect the actual gameplay itself. I know that this isn't a huge deal to a lot of people, but for people like me who loves video game lore, it would go miles in my heart. Another possible new ability worth mentioning here is the third arm mechanic. There's a clip in the video when the new character fully charges her arms and then grows a smaller arm on her right shoulder. I've seen a lot of people on Reddit speculating that this could be the charge feature of the Headlock arms themselves, but I personally think that this is probably just going to be the new character's special charge ability, similar to something like Min Min's giant arm charge. This is because of the piston or cap looking thing on both of the new character's shoulder pads. Notice how these are built into the character and then pop up with this blue glowing aura before it grows that third arm. I'm not so sure that they would animate these piston or cap looking things onto every character if they wore that arm, and they would run into a problem with characters like Min Min who could really exploit this ability. And the final new ability this character is going to feature is some sort of teleport. I'm not sure how this is going to differ from Ninjara's teleport, but it certainly looks slower at the least. You can see in the clip that she sort of fades into a white ethereal form of herself, then reforms herself a second later, rather than that quick or instant teleport we're used to from Ninjara. We do see the character teleporting in another clip, but in a different context that could mean something very cool. In this short scene, we see Max Brass at Sky Arena with the new character teleporting in right next to him. An important detail that was pointed out to me by my friend Linkable is that Max Brass turns his head to look at her, and even changes his expression, which means that this could be from a new cutscene. My mind immediately went to the possibility of all new cutscenes for every character, which is something I've personally been asking for a long time. What is more likely though is that this new character will be a special boss at the end of Grand Prix mode, and that this is a scene from the cutscene that rolls after we beat Headlock or Max Brass on Sky Arena. Either way, I'm excited for at least one new cutscene because, as I've said, I'd really like for them to flesh out the story here, even if it's just through a minor cinematic. Lastly, I just want to talk about this new character's home stage. There's a few green vials floating around, reminiscent of DNA Lab, which may or may not be unbreakable. We don't know yet. We don't see any scenes of those vials breaking. The coolest part about this map, though, is what looks like a treadmill-style moving floor section. There were some scenes with this part of the stage standing still, but some clips showed the ground moving underneath the player's feet, which is something we haven't seen yet on any other stages. I'm not sure whether I will hate or love this yet, but it does seem super sweet, and I'm glad they're trying to innovate instead of giving us the same gimmicks with a different look. Oh my goodness, this really could be the best version of ARMS that we've seen yet. I know I might be getting a little too excited too soon about the actual extent that they'll go into more of the story, but either way, I'm just excited to have a face to this evil robot stuff that's been going on. That's exciting for me. I'm sure I'll be coming out with a character overview to her arms and abilities as soon as she comes out, or soon after she comes out, so watch out for that before the end of the year. If I might have missed something that you saw in the trailer, please let me know down in the comments. I am genuinely interested about this patch, so let me know. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This is Max from Max Culture, and thank you for watching.